Preston Leinenbach with Otters TV, joined by Evansville Otters Clubhouse manager Ben Garrett. Ben, thanks for taking the time to talk with me. It's been a while.
Yeah, it sure has. I didn't really expect the baseball season to be played out like this. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
So for you, it's still kind of been a busy off season. You're a new parent. You and your wife Tori had a newborn child a few weeks ago. So what's it like being a parent?
Yeah, so I really didn't have an off season or an off summer per se. It's been quite an adjustment becoming a father, but I'm going to tell you right now, Preston, it's the greatest feeling in the world, and there's nothing better than having your own child and taking care of them and just kind of watching them grow day by day. So we've had our hardships and a lot of fussy nights where baby's up crying 2, 3 in the morning, but you know what? I wouldn't trade it for the world. Nothing better.
What's been some of your favorite moments so far?
You know what? I think it's just kind of the small things. It's just kind of watching Tori and I kind of develop and just kind of seeing us take on greater responsibilities around the house. And, you get that like aha moment where the baby's crying for an hour long, and then you finally get him to just kind of quiet down and you just kind of relax and rest. And that's just kind of a cool moment. I will say the Cardinals have been playing since the Otters aren't. So me and the baby have been watching almost every inter-squad Cardinal game. So that's been kind of cool to share that moment. So hopefully a lot of baseball games down the road for the two of us.
Yeah, especially later this week when the regular season gets going, right?
Yeah. This Friday, opening night. Who thought we'd be opening in July? But
how do you think the season's going to fare with only 60 games on the schedule and obviously having no fans in the stadiums?
Yeah, I think it's going to definitely be a big factor. It's baseball's always been a marathon, not a sprint, and this is going to kind of be a little bit backwards. So this time guys are going to be racing to the finish line, and once a team loses 10 games, it's going to be kind of tough to get that mindset to be where, hey, we're still in it, because in all reality, there's not that many games left in the season. So it's going to be different. It wouldn't surprise me if we have some teams that were not contenders in years past become contenders this year, because the team gets hot for a 20-game stretch, then all of a sudden they're in a wild card hunt or they're potentially a division leader. So I think we can really see some surprises this year, and I'm just really excited to have live sports back on again.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Me too. And then for you, obviously this has been one of the craziest years, at least in our lifetimes for sure, but can you even imagine what some of these players have gone through, including like the high school or college seniors and really just the athletes in general?
Preston, I really feel for the athletes that are going through a lot of this right now, especially the high school seniors and your college seniors, because this was their final year. This was kind of their last mark on that team that they played for. But kind of in the same aspect too, really kind of feel for the Otters, those ball players that kind of played for us, because this was a year taken away from their career, and a year where they might have been able to be seen by some major league affiliation where they could have been picked up, and they might have had a lot of success this year. And this could have been that one step to getting back into affiliated baseball or potentially joining for the first time. So my heart really goes out for those guys. Really feel for it. And unfortunately, it's a year we're just not going to get back.
Like you said, especially for these guys who are trying to just get their name out there, that exposure to MLB scouts, just whatever they can do. And like I said, it's a year for some of them who won't get that chance. Some of them are finding other opportunities during some of these creative leagues that are popping up across the country. And the other thing too is, like, even for the higher level the professionals, the major leagues and like with the NBA, they're all in this bubble where they can't be with their families right now.
Right. Yeah, that's gotta be tough. I've seen a couple Major League Baseball players come out and they've said, hey, we're not going to play because they have a child on the way. And from somebody that just became a parent, kind of makes you put things into perspective. I mean, family comes first, and that comes first and foremost over sports in the long run. So it really is kind of a crazy time we're living in right now. I'm actually kind of thankful that we were off this season just so I could spend as much time as I could with my child. But for those guys that they kind of depend on that paycheck, it's going to be tough on them, and they're in a tough position. They really are.
Yeah, and for you, like I said, normally this time of the year you're busy helping get the clubhouse ready, doing the uniforms and all that kind of stuff. Do you miss it?
Every day. It's Bossy Field's been a second home to me since I was in 8th grade. So it's been somewhere I've spent every summer, every week from the months of April all the way to September, October. So it's just kind of in my blood. And yeah, I miss it a lot. It's been nice to kind of have some time off, but in the same aspect too, it's something that I knew, and that was kind of what I did as a living. So no, I miss every aspect of it, the players, the atmosphere, everything about it.
Now, for you, how long have you been working on the Otters staff?
So I started in 2010 as a bat boy, and then just kind of over time moved into the clubhouse manager role in 2015. I shared that role with Sam Hartsfield for that one season, and then took over as the sole clubhouse manager in 2016. So I've been doing that role, I guess, for the last 4 or 5 years now.
And I mentioned it's a couple of things of some of the tasks that you are responsible for, but what are some of the other things that pop up on your daily routine when you're normally here at the ballpark on a game day?
Oh, as I say, those routines, they change day by day. There's something new that pops up every single day. I mean, just first and foremost, making sure the players are happy, healthy, and they've got everything they need to succeed. If I'm kind of working for them. If them or the coaches need anything to be successful on the field, then I mean they come first. So just kind of making sure they got the uniforms, making sure they have all that equipment, making sure that the clubhouse is a nice environment. It's clean. It's just overall in good shape and somewhere where a guy wants to come to work every day. So just making sure that everything's tidy and ready to go. So a lot of different responsibilities to go through.
And you mentioned Sam Hartsfield, which I know he had a huge impact on your life. What are some of your favorite memories working with him and knowing him almost, I mean, really on a personal level over those years?
Well, yeah, Preston, he meant a lot to me. And matter of fact, my son that we just had, his middle name was after Sam. From middle name Samuel after him. But every minute I got to spend with him was a moment I'll always cherish. To be honest with you, some of my favorite memories were just late at night when the laundry was going. The two of us would sit out at the picnic table and outside of Bossy Field, and we'd sit out there and there'd be nobody around for miles because it'd be 2:00 in the morning and everybody's sleeping then. And just those talks, learning about different life lessons, learning about maybe something that happened that day. And kind of as people know, Sam played in the Negro Leagues and he played in Major League Ball. So hearing his stories even from times when he played, and I mean, everything that he had to say was something worth listening to. And he was better than any textbook that you would ever open. So I think just those conversations, those nightly conversations and just listening to each other talk, that's something I'm always going to remember and hold close to me. Kind of on that note, there were several times where we'd be talking and we'd walk back and the washer had been done for an hour. And that just time gets away from you. And you kind of enjoy each other's company and enjoy spending time with one another.
And I know this year has been a big celebratory anniversary year for the Negro League. So when you hear that and a lot of the conversations that have been talked about this year, does that make you think of him and some of those stories that he told you about his playing days?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It's always been kind of a dream of mine. I've been to the Baseball Hall of Fame, but I'd love to get out to the Negro League Baseball Hall of Fame and just kind of see the vast amount of history that they have and the wide collection of memorabilia and just kind of see all that they have to offer. It really kind of puts things into perspective when you've known somebody and you've heard about the hardships. You've heard about also the good times as well that they had during their playing days as well. And just kind of be able to put some things together. I've got some pictures of Sam in uniform back when he did play and be able to see some things firsthand. It really kind of opens your eyes up a little bit and you get a better kind of feel for how things were.
And what were some of the things that stick out to your mind about things that maybe he had to deal with and go through during his playing days that he would tell you about?
I know there were some times where the team would go and he wasn't necessarily welcomed or the team wasn't necessarily welcomed. I know we've kind of all heard some stories about those. I know he's told me a lot of times about just kind of the long bus rides, how they'd play a game in the morning, you travel 10 hours, you play a game that night then. And it was just always living on the road, always living kind of place to place and not ever really being able to settle down. But Preston, in the same aspect too, Sammy talked real highly about his playing days. He had a lot of fun with it. I think that's why he stuck with it so long and why he kind of stuck with baseball for so long as well. So I don't really want to say that all of his memories were bad because I really do think he enjoyed playing as well.
Yeah, the coaching staff has mentioned to me multiple times how they would use his encyclopedia of knowledge as well to aid them in some of their thinking processes for on the field and some of the things that he has kind of experienced the youth to their aid as well, making decisions as a staff.
Yeah, I would put his knowledge up with anybody. It was always interesting. He'd always sit down in the right field corner in his lawn chair and just kind of watch games from down there. And if you ever sit with him and kind of watch the game progress inning by inning, he'd talk about different plays and like maybe something that should have happened a little different. Just kind of listen to his knowledge, and it was pretty in depth, to be honest. So no, that's something I wish I could listen to every day still.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing with him being here and his connection to the Negro Leagues at that time. Obviously, our field is connected with the All-American Girls Professional League with the movie A League of Their Own. It has its affiliated days to the major league level, of course, independent baseball. I mean, really, this field and Boss Field has covered almost every aspect in the history of baseball in some way, almost.
Oh, between the two of us, I mean, this is the place that doesn't get enough recognition, and I don't really know how that would be possible to put it out there where we get more publicity and more, I guess more people out here. But you're exactly right. It's got everything that you could possibly have with it. Everybody knows it's the third oldest stadium. Like you said, we've got affiliated experience. There's been tons of baseball Hall of Famers that have stepped foot inside this stadium. This field has so much to offer, and it's really kind of a shame that it's just kind of a hidden secret. It really, in my opinion, should be out more and should be more advertised as kind of a baseball sacred ground.
And I know that you have popped by the ballpark every now and then during this extended off season, I guess you can call it. Have you been able to see some of the new things, the renovations that have taken place? And if so, what do you think of them?
Yeah, it looks fantastic. Again, somewhere that's kind of spent a lot of summers out at the ball field. It's really exciting to see a lot of these changes happen for the better. Really cool to see kind of the new light displays that we have. I'm really excited just back in the clubhouse and kind of the rec area where the players are at, because that's where I spend a lot of my time. A lot of it's been redone. It's kind of been modernized a little bit. So I think the players are really going to enjoy that. It's going to be a nice place for them to kind of relax before and after games. It's been real nice to see the place kind of cleaned up real well. It was long overdue.
And with your personal schedule, obviously during the off season, you're a teacher. How long do you see yourself maybe being on the Otter staff and being the clubhouse manager?
As long as Andy's willing to have me with the team, I'd like to stick around as long as I can. I think it'd be a great place to work over the summers when school's not in session. I think it'd be even a better place to raise a son at and kind of let him walk around day by day and game by game. No, as long as he's happy to have me on the staff, I'd be more than happy to be back every year after year.
Ben, like I said, I really appreciate your time. I won't take too much more of it because I know you're a busy man, but I really do appreciate it.
Thank you, Preston. I appreciate the interview. Thank you.
For Ben Garrett, I'm Preston Leinenbach. This has been Otters TV.